My husband contracted HIV from our maid. For context, my husband wasn't always like this. He used to be a good man, present, responsible, a provider. I was a stay-at-home mom and life was good. Everything changed when he lost his job. He had been working abroad, but the job was physically demanding. When his health started failing, he had to return home. Now, I had to step up financially, but the work I got required me to travel, sometimes for a few days, sometimes for a few weeks. That's when the real problem started. We had 2 children, and I had to leave them in the care of a maid whenever I traveled. Over time, I realized a disturbing pattern. I had to fire 7 maids in a period of 2 years because he slept with all of them. It would always follow the same cycle. A maid would start becoming disrespectful, something would feel off. Whenever I would investigate, I would discover they were having an affair. One even got pregnant and nearly lost her life when he forced her. Another time, my own child told me they saw daddy and auntie in my bedroom. That was my breaking point. I had to take my children to boarding school because I could no longer trust what was happening at home. But even then, he would manipulate me every time I confronted him. He would guilt trip me, saying things like, "Oh, now you think I'm right, or you don't respect me as a man anymore. These maids respect me more than you do." Eventually, I just stopped bringing maids altogether. I thought removing access would solve the problem. He started complaining how I've made him the woman in the house because now he had to clean and cook and do everything. Without my knowledge, he went behind my back and hired a maid from one of those numbers advertised on electric poles. I didn't even know this at first. Whenever I would ask how things got done, he would say, "I figured it out." Until months later, I realized he would bring a leave-out maid. She would come during the day, clean, do everything, but even then he was sleeping with her too. Chef, at this point I was tired of him. I even stopped sleeping. And he later used that against me, saying I left him no choice. Months later, he fell sick. We thought it was something minor, like malaria, but after multiple hospital visits, he was diagnosed with HIV. And his first reaction, meanwhile, he blamed me because I travel for work, but I was tested and I am negative. I don't have the words to describe that moment. I was shocked, confused, and angry. But now things are complicated because since his diagnosis, this man has changed. Now he does everything. He respects me. He started going to the farm that he had used to go to earlier. We started going for counseling. He takes responsibility at home. He agreed to a system that actually works where we share responsibilities. And for the first time in years, I feel like I have a partner again. It's been 3 months and I can see the effort. I feel the change, but I'm conflicted. Part of me feels loyalty. You know, he was there for me once, so I feel bad having to leave him. Part of me feels guilt because leaving him now feels wrong, especially in his condition. But another part of me is afraid that this change might be temporary, afraid that this change maybe is driven by fear and not real transformation. And I'm afraid of what happens when things finally normalize. We've gone for counseling and they've said it's possible to stay as a serodiscordant couple. And I'm willing to be there for him as he was there for me.
Love isn't all about the money and beautiful names a couple share, but also the way the person carries and protects the relationship when his partner isn't around them. Cheating in a marriage is a good reason to end a relationship because the love and trust have been broken. The sudden change in her husband's attitude she is seeing in the man is because he knows if the woman leaves, he will be left with nothing, and the fact he have been infected have made him want to show the love he never showed to you as his wife when he was healthy. To me, that is not love. Because if he loved you, he wouldn't have broken the marriage by cheating on you. I am very sure if he wasn't down with HIV disease, he wouldn't think about changing his attitude towards you. What are your thoughts and opinions on this video? Share, comments, and subscribe to my channel.